I am Jennifer L. Kelly, middle school language arts teacher and author of the Lucia Chronicles. This is my last video in my Elements of Literature series. This is video 5, and it is all about resolution. Now, other elements of literature include theme and point of view, and point of view I discussed in some of my other videos, and I have an entire video devoted to theme on this channel, so you can check out those videos as well. So resolution is essentially the solution to the conflict or the solution to the problem in your story. Now, don't forget, in our conflict video we talked about how you want to have a primary conflict, but you also are going to have other kind of sub-conflicts within your story. So if it's a standalone novel, you want to make sure that you resolve the major conflict as well as all the sub-conflicts. However, if it's a series, you want to resolve some of your conflicts but not all of them. Depending on how long your series is going to be, for example, since I refer to Harry Potter a lot in this video series, the major conflict isn't solved until the 7th book. So it's brought up in book 1 and not solved until book 7. So if you are making a series, you want to solve some of your conflicts but not all of them. And don't forget, an important tip on conflict is it needs to be resolved after the climax of the story. So remember, we talked about how kind of in the beginning of your story you introduce the setting and you introduce the characters, and you probably introduce the conflict within that first third of the book. Then you have events that happen that lead up to the climactic point, and then the climactic point happens at the end of the middle or beginning of the end of your book if we were to divide our story into thirds. So you want your resolution to come after your climactic point. Now, I just recently read a book and by one of my favorite authors, and it's kind of a guilty chick lit sort of pleasure for me, and I read all of her series except for, she used to be a romance author, so I don't read those, but that was a long time ago. So I read her modern or present day series, and I was really into the book, and the resolution kind of seemed to happen really soon, and then the rest of the book you know, kind of drug out, and there was like another more minor conflict that needed to be resolved, but the major conflict had been resolved kind of too soon. And I was kind of disappointed, and when I went to rate it on Goodreads, I gave it a good rate because I still like the story and I love the author. She's, like I said, one of my favorites. And I just skimmed through some of the reviews, and someone else had noted that they thought the resolution to the major conflict had happened too early in the book, thus causing the rest of the book to kind of drag out. So it's really important to make sure that your resolution comes after the climactic point of your story, and that the resolution is happening in the last third of the story. Okay, so what would be considered your ending section if we divided the book into thirds of beginning, middle, and end. So if you are needing review, check out my other videos in this series. Again, this series is called The Elements of Literature. Check out my other video on theme if you'd like more information on that. And that's all I have for you today. In the meanwhile, happy reading and happy writing.